Watch these ladies explain a communist country.
Talk about how communism was in Cuba, in China, and in Russia or USSR. State control economy. So in Cuba, the economy is controlled by the state. Nowadays, you are allowed to have businesses, but the taxes are so high and you have to pay a percentage back to the state. And at the end of the day, it's not really your business. It's always going to be a state-owned business.
Communist China is still the same, is controlled by the state, and any private entity that comes into the country and wants to establish as a business, the state has to have a 51% ownership, even though the state has not put any money into it, but they still control the outcome and the input on it.
Yeah, so the government was controlling every business. I don't think people were allowed to have any businesses. Everything was government. People didn't have anything. They didn't own anything. So it was similar.
Political opposition. So in Cuba, political opposition was not tolerated. So you cannot talk bad about the government. You cannot go out there and riot. You're not supposed to do that. People have sometimes done that and they end up in jail. How about in China?
What is the political opposition? That doesn't exist in China. There's simply none.
What happens if you do decide to?
You mysteriously disappear.
Same here.
How about in USSR?
Same here. You cannot. They tape your phone. They can spying on you. You cannot say anything.
In Cuba, they used to open up the mail as well.
Yeah,
so whenever you receive mail from the US, they would open it up and then seal it back. Did you guys see
the same.
Okay.
The same.
All right. How about surveillance? So in Cuba, we have something called CDR, which basically it's one person that is basically like a spy, like a snitch that tells the government whenever someone is doing something that seems a little shady or a little anti-communist. And
That was the main thing for China as well.
Okay.
But now with technology, they have the face recognition surveillance camera all over the street in China, mainly in the mainland China. Not sure so much about Hong Kong yet, but that's what we're seeing.
Right. And some people